So that thing you want to make, that idea that's been kicking around in your head for a long time, but you've come up with every excuse as to why you can't, shouldn't, or won't make it, you need to make it. And I'm going to tell you why. First and foremost, it wasn't just random happenstance that this idea formed in your mind to begin with. This idea is a culmination of who you are. It's based on your experience, your goals, and what you want to achieve. And that alone is one of the biggest reasons why you need to make it a reality. There are essentially two aspects to anything created, and that is the extrinsic value and the intrinsic value. Now, the extrinsic is external. It's how it affects the world around you. With me, I'm working on a game, so I'm thinking, is it fun? Is it enjoyable? Does it provide entertainment? Does it make people laugh or create excitement? I'm thinking externally. Will it make me money? Will it earn me fame or notoriety or respect? Those are all extrinsic things. However, far more important are the intrinsic things. So, what do I have to learn to make this a reality? What skills will I improve? How will I become a more capable creator? How will completing this project benefit me in the long run? Will it make me feel accomplished, satisfied, like I actually made something? Those are all very, very important things, and they don't require anyone else for you to achieve. So when you're comparing the extrinsic value versus the intrinsic value is almost always going to supersede and far surpass the extrinsic value of any project. Not only that, but the intrinsic value is not reliant on the extrinsic value. It doesn't matter if my game ever makes money or earns me any fame or notoriety or respect, or is ever even played by somebody else. What really matters for me is that I have something up here which I turn into something out here. So maybe that resonates with you a little bit. Maybe that's something that you feel inside. Maybe you're inspired to create something, but the world has kind of told you it needs to have extrinsic value. It needs to change the world or affect the world in some positive way. It needs to check one of those boxes or all of those boxes that I expressed earlier. But that's simply not the case. It just needs to exist because you are the only one who can make it. Maybe your idea exists in some fashion or form. Maybe it's just a modified version of something you've already seen. Maybe there's an aspect of something that you want to improve or change, streamline, make a little better, or maybe just make catered to you. The point is that nobody else can make the thing that you're going to make. Somebody else can take the same exact idea and put in the same level of work and the same amount of skill, but it won't be the same product or outcome. If you look at famous works of art, a lot of them deal with common subject matter, people, places, things, concepts that have been expressed through art for centuries upon centuries. So what makes one art piece more notable than the other? The artist. The artist brings their own unique aspects to it. The artist creates something based on their own life, their own experiences, their own thoughts, their own emotions, and makes something completely unique to them. Nobody else could have created Starry Night other than Van Gogh. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of paintings of the night sky, but there is only one Starry Night. And the only difference between Starry Night and any of those other ones is Van Gogh painted it. And don't get me wrong, it's not about creating a masterpiece. It's not about seeking perfection. If anything, it's the opposite. This is purely assumption, but I don't think Van Gogh was attempting perfection when he painted Starry Night or any of his other paintings. Most artists aren't aiming for perfection. They're aiming for expression. They want to take that idea, that vision of their artwork from inside their head and put it onto a physical canvas so that everybody else can see what they see. So why shouldn't you? Maybe your idea is a masterpiece and you just don't know it yet. Maybe in decades or centuries from now, people will look back on whatever you're creating and use it to teach others or to showcase the talent of a certain generation. You really don't know. But what I do want you to know is that it is your responsibility to yourself to make the thing. And it might be a ridiculous, silly idea. It might be the next Flappy Bird app. And it's not exactly world changing profound, but it's worth making. I promise you that. Because if you don't make it, nobody else will, because it is yours. And there is no other you. So make the thing. The worst case scenario is that you'll learn.